Hello there folks, I'm Dan Brown from asortofinterestinglife.com and you're joining me as always on board good old narrowboat Tilly, and I thought we'd have a random boat life blog update. Don't worry, it's not all going to be looking at my ugly mug. We've got plenty of boaty footage and general canal scenery, as well as a few of the nice fields of Shropshire, all the usual sorts of stuff. Anyway, as usual, it's been a chaotic time on board. This time, not because of my poor planning and dreadful inability to make decisions, although that, as usual, has played a part, but because there's been just general all sorts of chaos kicking off. Firstly, I'd like to say, yes, this is a very odd lighting setup I've got, as if I turn this off, it is very dark on board. I've got a light just above the iPod that is currently recording me, a light over to there, so if I'm looking extremely pale, then I apologise, that is why. So yes, that's the first thing sorted. Next thing, why has it been such a chaotic time? Well, as some of you will know, I suddenly, a couple of weeks ago, had the bizarre engine coolant water drinking problem, and as you may also know, that was finally diagnosed and given a proper definition of, oh, there's a hole in a pipe on the outside of the boat and I can't get it fixed without taking the boat out of the water, blah blah blah. So that then halted my plans to get to Whitchurch for a second time. So I stayed around Ellesmere, and then after a week or so just started to move down a little bit, and amazingly the leak had healed itself once again, just as it had done 2 years ago almost, when I first bought Tilly and the problem first arose. Of course, had I have known that the problem was going to heal itself instantly within the next hour or so of actual boat travel, I would have probably just carried on straight down to Whitchurch when I actually had my 19 days off work, so I could have really enjoyed it, probably gone out even a little bit further, and I would love to, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but it's something that I didn't want to mention in case it never happened, but I would absolutely love to have gone down and just randomly posted a video of Wrenbury Lift Bridge and been like, oh yeah, look where I am and look how cool this is, where it's all automated and there's a little siren and a barrier to stop the traffic coming across the road. Anyway, speaking of lift bridges, at the end of this little straight here we're going to find a lift bridge, or rather in the middle of a straight we're going to find a lift bridge, and luckily there was a boat ahead of me who had left it up, so I only had to lower the lift bridge. Ultimately, I suppose really the thing that's been going on lately that's really caused the absolute chaos and general turmoil is the fact that, despite the fact that very rarely anybody in my family is ever ill, or anybody I know is ever ill, unfortunately, in unbelievable bad luck, after I actually did get to Whitchurch, which I'm very happy to be at, and we'll look at some lovely Whitchurch scenery in just a second, amazingly, once I'd got to one of the furthest places it is to bike out and get back into Oswestry for literally probably 45 miles of canal, amazingly at that point, the worst thing that can possibly happen, a friend randomly gets put in hospital in literally unforeseen circumstances at a moment's notice, and then to top that off, literally again within probably, I don't know, I can't even think, but in less than 2 weeks, a family member is then also put in hospital in unexpected circumstances. Slightly more expected, but the appointments and stuff brought forward, so everything just completely out of the window, and all planning and all the use of my lovely new Filofax system completely gone out of the window. So that's definitely not been ideal at all, but at the very least, everybody is now, hopefully, touch wood, don't know if you could hear the sound of wood being tapped. But hopefully now everybody's on the mend and everybody should be nice and recovered. So that's definitely something I'm very glad about, and life can start to hopefully return to normal for everybody. But of course, this is the typical fashion that these things work out. That once the boat's in the most awkward position it could be, where there's not even bus access or in a lot of cases perfect road access, that's exactly when I need to start getting back to go and visit people and go and see people and generally be around friends and family. Some of you will know, if you follow me on Facebook or are friends with me on Twitter, that I've been a little bit quiet on there recently, and that's obviously had an impact as to why I haven't been spending so much time on the internet. Anyway, moving on to less dark and lighter topics. we have been blessed to have some absolutely fantastic midsummer style days. It's a little bit late in the year for them, but as you can see, it's been blazing sunshine, really hot, proper shorts and t-shirt weather, and being able to moor up in some fantastic beautiful places like what you're seeing on the screen now is the absolute icing on the cake. So as well as spending more time with friends and family, it's been great to also have these brilliant chunks of time alone to really enjoy, whether it's biking or walking or even kayaking, and of course boating in this sort of weather. Just thought I'd throw in a close-up of the actual structure of a lift bridge here. This is another one further upstream. And ultimately, it's been a brilliant sort of breath of fresh air. But of course, with brilliant blue skies and clear skies during the day, have also come some extremely cold nights. And it's been the first time recently that I've had to get the fire burning proper nice and hot with a good bit of fuel in there, as you can see on the screen now. So that's the first real fire that there's been of the season. And of course that leads to the obligatory little bit of smoky chimney scenery too. And really, I suppose, because of all the chaos that's been going on, I've just been enjoying, when I get out to the boat, just relaxing and doing nothing and being a bit lazy and just, like I say, enjoying the surroundings, walking up and down the towpath and going across little different areas of fields and country lanes. There's been a good bit of astronomy going on as well with the very clear skies. And as much as it's been an odd time and not ideal, it's certainly had its moments. And as you can see, boating down the canal, it looks like this. There's not much that you can do as a stress-relieving thing, I don't think. Beautiful countryside, nothing but the sounds of nature and cows. Very noisy cows at one point. But, well, what a nice way to be able to relax and get out and enjoy yourself. Certainly, it's something that I'm very grateful for, as I always say, and at times when things don't always go perfectly, it's something that I'm even more grateful for, and more grateful for than ever that I've been able to do it while I'm young and able to still have my health and enjoy things how I do. So yeah, really, I can't say that it hasn't all been good in the end, and especially if things have all turned out well at the moment too. Of course, this wouldn't be a very good video talking about Whitchurch without a little moment of Whitchurch itself. There's the canal on one side, and oh yeah, that's where the canal ends at Whitchurch. Obviously, it carries on further down from there. This is St Alkmund's Church, an absolutely lovely little place. And Whitchurch itself is really just a lovely little town. And on that note, I think we'll wrap things up. I'd just like to say once again, thank you very much to everybody who's tuning into these videos and helping spread the word. It's unbelievable, like I say, it's truly humbling to think now that it's been many months since the channel's dropped below 100,000 views in a month. Here's a fascinating statistic for you. Since the start of 2014, there's been, I don't know, some like 600 and something thousand views in total on the channel, but also, alarmingly, over 2 million minutes watched. So that, again, is a huge inspiration and motivation for me personally to try and make these longer, more detailed, in-depth videos, such as the Dan's Narrowboat Life documentaries, where I hope to create videos that are actually worth people tuning in that volume to see. So I'll try and keep living up to it. Thank you as always. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe and check out my other videos. I've got almost 200 narrowboat videos on the channel now, as well as plenty of other stuff, whether that's walking up mountains or going out on the bike or down the canal on a kayak, all sorts of things like that. Feel free to like the Facebook page or even add me personally on Facebook and Twitter if you want general pictures and boat life updates and just general things going on along the canal. And of course, check out my books for the Kindle. The first book that I wrote after 1 year afloat was The Narrowboat Lad, only £1.53. I'll leave you to check that out if you wish. And until the next time, keep it canal side, keep it boat worthy, have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you around soon. Farewell.